Welcome, everyone, to your full moon in Leo horoscopes and tarotscopes for the full moon in Leo on February 12th, 2025. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying your week. We're going to talk all about this full moon. It's pretty awesome, and the best case scenarios for every single sign. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you are returning. I'm Joshua the Psychic. You can find out all about my services in the links below. So let's talk about this full moon. Full moons are all about completion. It's a time of harvest. So if you made intentions for the new moon that we had in Aquarius on January 29th, well, you'll start to see the manifestations of them come February 12th. So it's very exciting. Full moon in Leo brings a time of harvest and completion. And after the full moon, after that pop of all that energy, we have our waning moon cycle for 2 weeks that we'll have until the Pisces full moon, Pisces new moon, which will be on February 27th. So what we do is we have the new moon and we make our intentions, and then we reach that period of completion and fulfillment with our new moon intentions, and then we repeat the cycle all over again with the new moon and then the full moon. So under your waning moon cycle, after this full moon, so from say the 13th of Feb to the 27th of Feb, you're going to be releasing what no longer serves you and making space for new growth and possibilities. Hey, Casmar, nice to see you. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So how will it affect you? 24 degrees of Leo falls in your astrology chart. We're going to ballpark it. We're using the whole sign house system in this video today. So you can just listen for your sign and your rising sign, or you can actually just check your chart as well to find out where that 24 degrees of Leo is. We have 3 really cool aspects, intense aspects, some of them. One easy one is Saturn in Pisces is going to make a beautiful trine to Mars retrograde in Cancer. So that trine is really, really nice. It's going to bring a nice steady flow of disciplined action, allowing us to channel our emotional energy into productive efforts. So it's a time to build on past work because Mars is retrograde, and approach challenges with patience to ensure long-term progress and stability. So there's a nice flow of energy between Saturn and Mars. You can get a lot done. So it's almost like finding a trajectory, finding a track for your energy, and you can get a lot of flow there with that beautiful trine. You also have the Sun conjunct Mercury, Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury in Aquarius this full moon. And of course, the Sun conjunct Mercury is the full moon, and that's going to create a dynamic balance and emotion. You can expect sharp insights and powerful communications, but also the need to navigate tension between rational thoughts and deep feelings, right? Because Mercury is all about the rational thoughts, and the full moon's all about the deep feelings. So use this energy to process your emotions, express yourself confidently, and release what no longer serves you. Now, the big deal that we're going to be talking about tonight, especially in light of your best case scenario for this full moon, is Uranus's T-square to the full moon and Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury. That's going to spark unexpected shifts and breakthroughs. So this dynamic aspect encourages radical change and fresh perspectives, urging us to embrace innovation, to think outside the box, and to adapt quickly to new opportunities. So you can see here how you get the Sun next to Mercury at 26 degrees Aquarius. You got the full moon at 24 degrees Leo. And then you have Uranus over here at 23 degrees Taurus. So that Uranus in Taurus is making a square to both the Sun and Mercury and the full moon in Leo. And there are some other nice ones too that we spoke about. That Saturn is at 18 degrees Pisces, is blending beautifully with that Mars retrograde in Cancer. And of course, you have the Sun conjuncting Mercury. So a lot of information you're likely to experience under this full moon. You might want to get a little bit of rest ahead of it, just because it's going to be probably very busy. And you want to make sure that your mind is still Think of your mind like a still, calm lake. And then you'll be able to make decisions for your greatest advantage. So let's go through all the signs and talk about how this full moon is likely to affect you. So Aries, the full moon is going to be hitting your 5th house. You and Leo get along like peanut butter and chocolate. It's one of the best matches for Aries. I'd say the first match is Sagittarius, but Leo and Aries go very, very well together. So for this full moon, embrace creative and romantic joys. You may find yourself bringing a creative project or a romantic situation to a stage of completion. So it's a celebratory time for you. Your confidence should get a nice little boost this full moon. And we have Uranus, of course, in Taurus. That's in your 2nd house. So it's part of that T-square. So Uranus in your 2nd house brings surprises around money. So the best case scenario for you would be a windfall, right? Or some new opportunity that brings you a lot more money that you weren't expecting. You also might find yourself surprised by what you really value. Yeah, this is what is really important to me in my life at this time. So embrace your creative joys, expect some extra money, look for opportunities, and don't be surprised if a new financial opportunity pops into your lap. The card we pulled for you is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is all about this inner knowing. In life, we get what we are, not what we want, right? We get what we subconsciously are a match to. So do you feel like you're embracing creative and romantic joys? Do you feel like you're really, really rich? Because with the High Priestess, it's a matter of remembering, like a magnet, for instance, doesn't concern itself with what it attracts. It just attracts what it attracts. So you got to make sure that on the inner plane, you're experiencing that sense of completion in regard to your creativity and experiencing that sense of wealth, of financial power. And you want to just visualize that happening. You want to just visualize money happening around you, lots of financial opportunities happening. And you want to make sure that you're tuning inward. So it's an inner job with the High Priestess. It might be helpful for you to create a vision board focusing on creative fulfillment or much more money coming into your experience. So it should be a very nice full moon for you, Aries. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, Haley. Nice to see you. Sunflowers. Thanks so much for joining tonight. Thank you. Oh, and Anna Maria. Thank you so much. Great to see you, Anna. I'm so psyched to have you here. Thanks for coming along. So for Taurus tonight, we have the full moon in your 4th house. 4th house, comfort in home and family ties. The energy, the energy for Taurus, it's going to illuminate your emotional foundations. It's going to bring around your living situation or your family life to completion. So there's going to be probably maybe a home project that you're going to finish up. There might be a family event or gathering. But at the end of the day, a big light is being shown on security and what you need in order to feel all yummy inside. How can you tap into that divine mother energy and nurture yourself like you've never been nurtured before? And your best case scenario is a new attitude. And I say that because Taurus is your sign and Uranus is in Taurus. And that means your personality is going through a big shift, like Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle, the best case scenario for you is Patti LaBelle popping out of a suitcase. Really, it's just a new attitude, because attitude is your 1st house. It's how you see the world, how you interact with your immediate environment, your personality. And if you create a new personality, you're going to create a new personal reality. So with Uranus being activated in your sign this full moon, you're going to find that when you show up differently, everything shows up differently for you. Now, the card we pulled for you is the Hermit. So with the Hermit card, you're going to probably want to lower down the noise in your life. You're going to be searching for that sense of inner meaning, what really matters. So it's important to quiet down things. I feel like with the Hermit card, this is usually changes that are affecting home, work, your day-to-day regime. So you're completing a cycle, and it's angular because it's the 4th house. So it's a big deal for you, this full moon. And I would say you want to make sure that you're quieting down the mind, that you're spending a little bit of extra time alone, maybe organizing yourself, organizing your house, doing whatever it is that you can to get your ducks in a row. And really don't feel bad about focusing on the inner world and spending time by yourself. The that you're going through, it's a big deal. It's all about your emotional foundation. So this will be a full moon for you, Taurus, to determine, yeah, this isn't working for me anymore. I have to let this go. And when you wind up completing this cycle, aligned with the Hermit, you're probably going to have a new attitude, like Patti LaBelle. And it's going to make all the difference in the world. So enjoy this. I think you'll find it's very good for you. Gemini, the full moon in Leo is hitting your 3rd house. So you're probably going to be very busy this full moon cycle. Communicate your ideas with flair and curiosity. You're probably going to be bringing a writing project to completion or some communication project. Your words will carry an extra amount of weight, Gemini. And because Mars is retrograde still until the 23rd, I would remember that when in doubt, leave it out. Like, don't feel like you need to say everything. Maybe have an extra outlet for yourself, like journaling or venting in an empty room or confiding in a friend who's not going to reveal your secrets. That might be really good for you. Because the thing is that Uranus is in your 12th house, right? So the best case scenario for you, because the 12th house is about behind the scenes activity, it's about quietude, rest, privacy. The best case scenario for you is to get some extra rest and to do whatever it is that you can to nurture your subconscious mind. What beliefs are you playing with? There's a really cool interplay, I think, between the 3rd house, your conscious mind, what you think, and your 12th house, where Uranus is stationed right now, which is about your subconscious. So you want to make sure that consciously, if you're saying, okay, it would really help for me to think about things in this way, or be very helpful for me to think about myself in this way, this is a good time for you to train your subconscious. So before you go to sleep, you might want to give yourself suggestions, i.e., as I sleep, all my cells are restoring to perfect health. As I sleep, I ask that I line up with my goals, and I ask for help in achieving my objectives, whatever it might be. But you want to make sure that you're working with your subconscious, and you're going to work best with your subconscious, your subconscious when you're sleeping. Now, the card that we pulled for you is Queen of Pentacles. So don't rock the boat. Maintain status quo would be the advice here, which I think makes a lot of sense with Mars retrograde and this full moon being a little bit volatile. I think it could be very positive for everybody, but one wrong move or one mood swing, and we could wind up in the doghouse. So Queen of Pentacles as a card, she's not very ambitious. She likes her life, right? She likes her home. She likes her food in the fridge. She likes her beautiful house. She likes creature comforts, and she's not really about to rock the boat. So I would say with Uranus in your 12th, make sure you're getting your extra rest. Leave well enough alone. Communicate your ideas, of course, but I would definitely not do anything that is going to drastically disrupt the status quo with Queen of Pentacles. Besides, you should be sleeping. You should be behind the scenes this full moon to a certain extent. You might want to balance it. Maybe you'll be going to a lot of parties and a lot of meetings, a lot of communication is going to be coming at you, but you want to make sure you're balancing it with plenty of downtime. And happy full moon. So Cancer, this full moon is illuminating your 2nd house. So it's about nurturing your values, your talent, and your self-worth. And that, of course, is going to nurture your wealth, right? You want to make sure that your wealth is an extension of yourself. You value yourself so much, and therefore you express your talents, and therefore you generate wealth. So make sure to nurture your talents this full moon, your values, check in with yourself, make sure you're saying nice things to yourself. And with that second house, there could be a wonderful, in regard to a money-making venture that you started previously. So financial matters may come to a head. You could receive unexpected recognition for your talents, right? With that second house full moon. So it could be very good for you. A new financial opportunity might pop up, or you might see a new financial opportunity where you hadn't seen one before. Now, Uranus is activating your 11th house of friends, community, goals. So this is really cool for you. You might find a nice opportunity coming from your social circle or your network. Now, putting these two together, I would say if you're looking for more money, well, tap into your network. Find out if you know anybody that is doing what you would like to do, how they got there, if they can lend a hand, pay it forward, or your friends might be able to help you find a new job or find some kind of lucrative financial opportunity. Be open to unconventional collaborations. We have that Aquarius energy that's really, really strong. And the Fool card really drives home this point. Fool doesn't have an astrological reference, but it has a planetary reference. And its planetary reference is Uranus. So with the Fool card here is to go out on a limb. Take a leap of faith. Allow yourself to obtain new experiences. Allow yourself to be a fool in some area of your life. When the Fool card comes up in a reading, you'll never do anything the same way again. So there's probably going to be some new, unexpected money-making opportunity or money that you didn't realize that you could make before. Think of it as like, oh, I never checked this email address, and I have all of these requests or job offers or, questions about your career, stuff like that. And make sure you hold your friends very close to you because they could be very, very helpful and inspiring. And again, with the Fool, go out on a limb, take a chance, take a leap of faith, and happy full moon. So Leo, happy full moon. This one's in your sign, of course. This is a powerful moment of nation and visibility. You're going to be on display, which is nice. If you feel like the energy has been against you with all that Aquarius and nice balance. That your authentic self-expression and identity are going to be in the spotlight. So showcase your unique talents and yourself. Now you're in your of career, of status. So the best case scenario for you is a whole bunch of trophies being thrown your way. Everybody wants you to help them. Everybody thinks that you're amazing. So you could find yourself getting a nice career opportunity this full moon, and you're likely to be celebrated in some capacity. But I would watch for sudden breakthroughs in terms of your career. Oh, wow, I can do this. This is what I'm most passionate about. And it's going to allow you to shine even more. So think about where you're most passionate and where you might want to be the best. And also reflect back on your past accomplishments because you could be getting a lot of recognition. The card we pulled for you is the Star card, which is all about unexpected help. It's about hope and letting your star shine, allowing yourself to be the star. And typically with the Star card, you're going to experience inexhaustible inspiration. You're just going to be inspired, and it's going to be very, very positive. So the Star is all about hopes for the future. I think this full moon for you is going to be a big deal because you're going to be creating a new identity. You're going to be realizing your passion, a nice career path that's likely to be very, very satisfying, and you're going to be inspired. So if things have been tough for you, I think that this full moon is just what the doctor ordered, and it should make for a brighter days ahead. And happy full moon. So Virgo, This full moon is illuminating your 12th house. So you're going to want to reflect inward this full moon. It's a 12th house transit, so you're going to get the best work done behind the scenes when you're quiet, when you're by yourself, when you're taking a beat, which isn't tough for you, Virgo. Virgos typically like to, they like their alone time. And I would say with the 12th house, you're going to want that because the full moon is illuminating your subconscious. It's illuminating your beliefs that you might not be cognizant of. And that's a really key thing when it comes to manifestation, because we get what we subconsciously believe that we are, or we get what we subconsciously believe that we deserve. So take a beat this full moon. You might find yourself ready to release any old patterns that have kept you from fully expressing your creativity. Now, the best case scenario for you, you get Taurus, Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house. And that's all about higher learning, expansion. There could be expected opportunities for growth and travel. So I would say utilize this full moon to do something that allows you to expand and grow. This could be learning a new subject. This could be taking a class. This could be going on a trip to foreign land. But definitely get away from what is familiar while at the same time spending some extra time in quietude by yourself. So you want to balance that. You want to get extra sleep during this full moon, but you also want to think, oh, I could go here to this place in the world, or I think I'm going to study this. So consider how you might want to expand and grow. The card we pulled for you, Virgo, is Two of Swords. So with Two of Swords, make decisions without the interference of the emotions. Sometimes we get Two of Swords a situation. For instance, say you have a really, really important meeting at 9 a.m. and you wake up, the refrigerator door had been open all night and your milk is gone bad and you can't put it in your coffee or your tea. Then you go outside to your car, you got a flat tire, you got to change your tire now. And everything's just a mess. But you have that meeting. Well, of course, you'd love to walk into that meeting and be like, oh my God, everything's terrible. My milk went sour and my car tire was flattened and all this. But you can't really do that, can you? Because that's not your job. Your job is to give the presentation. So you're Two of Swords in the situation. You keep your personal feelings out of it and you do what you got to do. And I would say that's going to be key for you this full moon. You want to do whatever it is that you can to honor your commitments. I also say with the Two of Swords, you might be caught between a rock and a hard place, which makes sense. Like on one hand, you want to be alone. On the other, you might want to expand and grow. And really what you want to do is just make peace your goal. What's going to give you the most peace this full moon? Is it hiding out and not communicating with people? Is it going on a trip alone? That's another way you could look at this lunation. But the big thing is to find that sense of peace. Whatever's going to give you peace, go for that. Even if it means not making any momentous decisions. And happy full moon. So Libra, this one is going to be nice for you. You got the full moon transiting your 11th house. So it's going to light up your friends, your house of friends, of groups, of future visions, your ideal scenarios for the future. So connect with your friends. Think about your long-term goals. Your role within a community could reach a meaningful culmination. So you might be singled out for notice. You might get some approbation, which is nice. Now, Uranus is in your 8th house. And that's the house of shared resources, of intimacy, emotional, physical. And it really is all about boundaries, those that you set and those that you dissolve. If something makes you feel good, you want to release a boundary or dissolve a boundary. If something makes you feel bad, you want to put up a boundary so you protect yourself. So the best case scenario for you is rebirth, allowing the old self to die. What did the old self always have to deal with? How do you want your life to feel better overall? And what needs to go bye-bye in order for you to experience that next level of empowerment? Whenever we go through an 8th house transit, it's all about letting something go. Again, it could be a boundary, or it could be something that is no longer serving you. And the whole point for it is to make you stronger. Now, what's interesting, the card that we pulled of Cups. So if you're a lady, the tarot, it's all about archetypes, right? That it doesn't really matter, right? But this is suggesting that you align with a mature, masculine sense of emotion. And with King of Cups, it's about having an understanding of how you feel, but not letting your emotions control you and not letting the emotions of other people trip you up. So with this King of Cups, you want to establish emotional mastery. What are you no longer going to allow yourself to get upset about? What are you sick of complaining about? What are you sick of worrying about? What feelings do you no longer want to experience? Because this is a beautiful transit. An 11th house transit is going to give you almost like a new lease on life. And if you allow yourself to transform, you can allow yourself to be reborn into a new personality that has a light heart. If you want to be enlightened, lighten up, right? And if you want to manifest, which is an 11th house thing, you want to keep your heart light. Nothing serious is going on here. Laugh a little bit if you can, set your boundaries, and be emotionally mature. And happy full moon. I think you'll like it. So Scorpio, this full moon will illuminate your career. So you're going to be the center of attention at work, most likely. I would say with the full moon hitting your 10th house, Scorpio, this isn't the time to take shortcuts. Not that you do. I feel like Scorpio, when they love their job, they can work just as hard as Virgo, except with a certain level of emotional intensity that Virgo doesn't have. So this is the time for you to really shine in your career. You know, if you need to go the extra mile this month with this full moon in your 10th, I would do it. Give yourself some extra rest or do what you can to give yourself some extra ease in other areas of your life, because you might want to really bring it this full moon because it's hitting your career. You know, it's like that song. Remember that song by Eminem about you got one shot? What is that song? In the Moment? What is that song talking about? Eminem Moment. This is your moment song. Let's see. Eminem. What is the name of the song? Oh, yeah. Lose Yourself. Yeah. Lose Yourself, which is arguably Eminem's most iconic song. So you got one shot. I mean, you're going to have more than one shot, but the point is that with the transit you're going through, your career is highlighted. So you want to make sure that you're not falling asleep at the wheel, right? That you're showing up and you're doing your best work. And if that requires extra sleep beforehand, well, so be it. Your best scenario is really cool because you have Uranus in Taurus. It's hitting your 7th house. So there could be a new beginning for you or something that happens unexpectedly in terms of partnerships. You could be falling in love at first sight. You could be meeting somebody who's the perfect best friend. Psychic, even a consultant could be the 7th house. It's about your long-term relationships. It could be your best friend. It could be your romantic partner. So the best case scenario for you would be, oh, wow, where's this person been my whole life? This is fantastic. So keep your eyes peeled. And what's interesting is you got 8 of Wands. And now the 8 of Wands is about things happening very, very, very quickly. One of the meanings is love at first sight. So you might meet somebody and be like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is it. And that could also affect your career, right? Or your status. Not necessarily your career, but it could affect your position in society. So you marry up, but very rarely do Scorpios marry up, to be honest with you. Like Leo, Scorpios and Leos usually marry downward. They usually marry downward. which for reasons maybe we'll talk about at some point. But yeah, the best case scenario for you is going to be a really good new partnerships that could just come up out of the blue. But the main thing for you is to focus on the career. Where do you want to go next? And go and grab that trophy, Scorpio. And happy full moon. So Sagittarius, Leo full moon is going to activate your 9th house of higher learning, travel, expansion. You might be bringing a course of study to completion, a publishing project to completion. Maybe travel plans are about to be completed. And you want to seek adventure in learning and in travel. What's the next adventure for you? Because this is your house, Sagittarius. This is your house. So you want to go out on a limb, take a leap of faith, seek your adventure. Now, the best case scenario for you, you got Uranus in your 6th house. 6th house has to do with daily operations, the nuts and bolts of your day-to-day lifestyle, your habits, your job. It's how you go about your life daily. And a lot of it does have to do with organization. You want your life to be like a well-oiled machine. You want everything in its proper place, right? So the best case scenario is some nice change, perhaps in your work, in your daily lifestyle. Things might become more organized for you or more easy for you to do those things on a regular basis, those combination of things that make you well or happy. So it's about getting your life in complete working order. I would say that with Uranus in your 6th, this could be a really great time to declutter, get rid of stuff you don't need, and just get everything hyper organized. Now, what's cool is the card that you get is 8 of Pentacles, which is the Prudence card, which is a really very much aligned with the 6th house. As the 6th house is aligned with Virgo, 8 of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo. So you want to be a little bit Virgo-y, Sagittarius. That means you want to, make sure that everything is organized, that you're doing everything right, that you're tidying everything up, right? Especially on the work front, because there's surprises in that area. Make sure that you're paying extra attention to your diet and your lifestyle, doing those things to make you well or happy. And of course, you want to make sure work and your health is all taken care of before you go on that trip and before you determine your next course of study. I think it should be a good one for you. A nice balance of work and duty as well as adventure. So happy full moon, Sagittarius. So Capricorn, lucky you. You got an 8th house transit. So, Capricorn, this is going to be a little bit intense, right? You're a Capricorn, so you like being grounded and you like knowing what's up. And the 8th house does talk about your emotional life, right? What makes you good? What makes you feel bad? Setting a boundary if something makes you feel bad. But the real question in regard to the 8th house is, how do you want to die? How do you want to transform? What are you letting go of? And it's going to be very important for you, Capricorn, to be flexible during this transit. So delve into emotional depths. Look at your feelings. How do you feel about certain things? Where are you feeling imbalanced? Where are you feeling really good? Or where do you want to feel really good? Look at your joint enterprises with other people. Do they need to have an adjustment? Do you want to partner with somebody and combine your resources with them? Do you want to set a boundary and no longer blend your resources with somebody else, right? What about that next level of emotional intimacy? Do you want to allow people to see who you really are so they can love you for you? Capricorn by nature, not really comfortable with their emotions, right? So you want to make sure that you're honoring the secret aspects of yourself, because that really matters. Now, the best case scenario for you might be romance with that 5th house. Uranus is in Taurus. It's hitting your 5th house. So there could be a nice surprise in terms of romance. There also could be big surprise in terms of your creativity or self-expression, unexpected opportunities may arise romantically or creatively. There might be a surprise with your children if you have any children. But you want to consider taking some creative risks and allowing yourself to be spontaneous. So you want to be first with that 8th house full moon, but you also want to think how the transformation you're going through is going to result in more play, in more fun, because that's the name of the game for the Leo full moon, right? Overall, it's all about doing those things that we really love. But for you in particular, with Uranus in your 5th house, you have an opportunity to really enjoy your life more. And the 2 of Wands is the card we pulled for you, and that's about success in more than one area. I think success in 2 areas. It could be your home life is just great, and you have everybody around you that you love, and your work life is really taking off. It could be a matter of your work life is taking off, also your creative projects. Maybe your work life is taking off really, really well, and you also have a baby, or maybe you just fell in love. So there's success in more than one area. And the 2 of Wands encourages you to really look at your personal power, especially in light of that 8th house. Like if something makes you feel bad, you have a right to put up a boundary. And if something makes you feel good, you also have that right to dissolve that boundary and lean in a little closer, baby, right? So this should be good for you, Capricorn. Happy full moon. So Aquarius, we have this full moon in Leo, of course, in your 7th house, Leo being your opposite sign. So you want to nurture your partnerships with care and balance. Your Leo counterparts, well, I mean, they've been probably going through a lot lately, all the energy in Aquarius, especially Pluto, right? And Mercury. So you want to make sure that you're being extra sensitive to your partners, especially any of those that might have strong in there, right? The full moon is going to illuminate your partnerships and your relationships, and it's going to bring significant connections to a turning point or a moment of truth. A big light is being shown on your relationships. This is the person I want to be with forever, or I can't deal with this person for another 5 minutes, whatever it might be, right? A light is going to be shown on that. Necessarily just romantic. It also could be any partnership that you have that is long-term. Your best friend, your business partner, your consultants, stuff like that. But you want to nurture your partnerships. And remember, whether it be a job or a relationship, how you leave one, it sort of is the foreshadowing for how you're going to enter another. So if you have to leave a job or a relationship, make sure you're doing it in a way that you are proud of, that feels good, because you don't want to take old baggage into your new relationships. Watch for some important revelations in regard to your partnership. Again, this could be great. You could be shining a light. Oh my God, I think I love this person. I think I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. Right? This is the perfect business partner for me. It's going to happen. My dream is now going to come true because I have a business partner, whatever it might be. Nurture your partnerships. Now, Uranus is in your 4th house of home and family. So the best case scenario for you might be a Dutch colonial. Well, not necessarily is it a Dutch colonial, but there's a new beginning around your emotional foundation, a new beginning in terms of how you nurture and care for yourself and how you're nurtured and cared for. So Uranus in the 4th house, it might shake up things emotionally, but not necessarily in a bad way. You might have a breakthrough and say, oh, wow, I've been wanting it. It's been here for me all along. I didn't recognize it, right? Because we're not on the vibrational wavelength of something positive. We might not be able to perceive it. So there's an awakening there. And you're going to probably have some kind of breakthrough in terms of your emotional foundation. Like, oh, wow, this is what I need. This is what I need to feel emotionally secure. Now, the card we pulled for you is Ace of Wands. That means that the onus is on you. Whenever we get an ace in a reading, it means that you have to do something. And the ace of wands, at the end of the day, it's a new identity. So maybe in terms of your relationships. Maybe you've been lone wolf for a while and you got to create a new identity that is in a relationship. Somebody who is a good boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. And you might want to start self-identifying as somebody who is very emotionally secure or who goes out of their way to ensure their emotional security. But Ace of Wands essentially is a very, very high energy card. It's said to be the second highest energy card in the deck, the first card being, or the highest energy card being the Sun. But with Ace of Wands, even though this full moon is in opposition, you got so many planets that are in Aquarius. This is a really good time to be in Aquarius. It's really a good time. Really, really good, especially while Jupiter is still in Gemini. So I would make your moves. I would be bold and create the reality that is best for you. Because the new moon that we had on the 29th of January was spectacular. And it was in your sign, of course. So I would say go for it. Go for whatever it is that you want, because this is a wonderful time for your sign. So focus on your partnerships, nurture those, and find out what you need in order to feel emotionally secure. Maybe it is a new house. Maybe it is that Dutch colonial after all. And happy full moon. And last but never least, my fishies. My fishies. So Pisces, the full moon in Leo is going to be hitting your 6th house, which is all about your work, your health, so you might be bringing a work project to completion. You might be finalizing tasks on a big project at work. Hey, Jay Murphy, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. You might finalize a project on the work front. And you want to make sure that with that full moon shining on your 6th house, that do you have the right combination of things in your life to make you well or happy? What's going to get you more organized? Oh, if I had this cleaned up in my life, I'd be a lot happier. Your contributions and efforts at work or your daily lifestyle receive unexpected recognition. And there is going to be a light that's shown on that 6th house area of your chart. So you might realize, oh, this is what I need in order to feel better physically. I need to cut this. Or this is the kind of lifestyle or job that I need in order to feel really fulfilled. Now, you have Uranus in your 3rd house of communication. So the best case scenario for you would be communicating in a new way. Maybe you're going to start writing more, or maybe you're going to be more of a social butterfly, social group. Maybe you're going to reach out to your friends more, or your neighbors, or your siblings. The 3rd house has a lot to it. So the best case scenario for you in your 3rd house, it could be so many different things, because the 3rd house has to do with your mindset. It has to do with your communications. It has to do with your writing and communication projects. It has to do with siblings, your social life, short distance travels. But I would say the best case scenario for you is about communicating in new ways that excite you. Maybe that's taking a class, or maybe that's starting a writing project, or going on a short distance trip. But definitely make sure the mind is filled with things that you love to do, whatever excites you. Now, the card we got for you is Eight of Pentacles. So there's going to be a new opportunity for you to experience either more wealth, more health, more trust, maybe in your relationships. And that makes sense, right? Because you are going through an earthy 6th house transit. Make sure that your body is all tuned up, that you're feeling as perfect as possible. I would make that your first priority and start communicating in different ways. And with Page of Pentacles, look for those opportunities. Maybe, you're starting to date again, and you want to make sure that you're vetting these people. Like, oh, okay, well, this person knows this person. So, that's a good thing for me, because now I know that, they might be somebody I can depend on, right? Or maybe you just conduct your own test to ensure that the people you're spending time with are really good for you. But there are going to be new opportunities on the horizon that's going to be illuminated in your daily life, and you should definitely start some kind of new communication project. And happy full moon. So we did it, folks. we did our full moon in Leo Tarotscopes. I hope this was fun for everyone. If you have any questions, always put them in the comments and I'll make sure that I answer them. Stay tuned for your horoscopes for this lunation. It's going to say in other terms what we spoke about today. If you want to subscribe to my Substack, that's free. The link is in the description below because I will be sending out horoscopes this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful full moon, everybody. A full moon in Leo. And I will see you tomorrow for This Week Astrology. And take good care. Oh, my pleasure, Casmart. Thank you for joining. And thanks to everybody in the live, in the chat for joining as well. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.